preparing, and we are live. Hello, everybody. This is Haley Lynn Gray, and I am excited to be with you here today. This is Gin Burchfield, and she is an amazing resource because she comes with an interesting background and marries the East and the West and a lot of really cool bits of knowledge. Today, we were talking about starting the day for success. So Jim, tell us a little bit more about what you do and how you do it, because I think it's a kind of an interesting perspective.
Thank you. So everything in the way that I approach coaching, health coaching, is around habits. And so the more that we can habitize both our evening routine and our morning routine, the more successful we're bound to be throughout the day, even though those habits and those routines may take more time than you're accustomed to spending on your evening or morning routine. They have a tendency to build in way more time into the day because you're more grounded. Some of the things that you have to do, like eat, if we can habitize the way that you prepare your foods, for example, and the way that you approach your family care and your self-care, all of that becomes natural. It becomes second nature, right? And you get into a real rapid and successful rhythm with it, and that informs the rhythm for your day. So when we talk about how to start the day, I like to think about how you end your day as the impetus for how to start the day, right? And the first and most successful and important habit, and this is the first habit that I teach in my health coaching courses, is eating an earlier, later dinner. So, we say, okay, well, we're starting the day for success. What does that have to do with dinner time? Right? And we have this tendency to be like, oh, tomorrow's a new day, so tomorrow I will. And if you switch that thinking just a little bit and you pull it back and kind of midday, you're like, I sort of blew the morning, but tomorrow I'll do this. Instead of thinking it that way, you go, okay, tomorrow I want tomorrow to be better because today I blew it. So what am I going to do tonight to ensure that tomorrow is better?
Right.
And that very first thing, like I said, is eating an earlier or later dinner. So the reason why this is so important, I mean, this is the cornerstone habit of all of Ayurveda. And the reason it's the cornerstone habit is because all of our health comes from digestion. And so if you're not digesting your food easily and restfully, if your body is having to struggle to digest your food, you're not able to attend to the other processes that your body needs to be healthy and successful. So if you think about dinner as what it once was before we were in our post-industrial era, or informational era, and you go back to thinking about how we were as an agricultural nation, we ate our largest meals at noon, right? So people used to come in from the farm and have a big meal spread out for them. Right. And they could use that food throughout the day. The body can use the food throughout the day to energize yourself and to your bile production is highest at noon. So we know that in allopathic medicine as well. So we eat our largest meal at noon, and then the word supper actually comes from supplements. So it's meant to be this little supplemental meal that's supposed to carry you through from lunchtime to the next day. It's not supposed to be the main event. And, at some point in the industrial era, when people started to go away from the home to work, we started making dinner time the main event of the day. So if we can sort of reframe our mind and get rid of what I call, and I know this is from a book and I can't remember who quoted it originally, but it's called a brule, and it's a BS rule. It's the it's the thing that we have a tendency to say, oh yeah, it's not that you don't have to sit down together as a family, but the idea that you have to sit down together at 8 p.m. when the last person comes home, after all the varsity sports have happened, and after negotiating all of your family's needs, and then
Right.
you're supposed to have a 3-course dinner. And then you're supposed to sit on the couch or lay on the couch where you can't digest your food, and you're now horizontal. You're setting yourself up for excess weight. If you listen to the last talk that you and I did, Haley, when we talked about trauma, we talked a lot about the concept of ama, which is toxins. It's toxins that deposit in the tissue, and it's toxins that come from undigested waste. And so we're just activating the process of ama when we eat a heavy dinner that we can't digest because we're going to bed soon after, or we're rolling over to the couch soon after.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So starting the day for success starts with the night before. It starts with eating dinner nice and early. And this is also, from an Ayurvedic perspective, the evening time is what we call the kapha time of day. Kapha is the energy that is made up of, or the constitution that is made up of earth and water. So when you think about water and you think about earth, I mean, Haley, what are some things that you think about? What are some attributes of earth?
Earth, dirt,
yeah. Right?
Grounded, yeah.
Grounded, right? Heavy, right?
Yeah.
And water is like, instead of being just heavy and stagnant, water is
flowy and
right,
drippy, and
right. So
messy.
Right. So if you think about those things, and water molecules are cohesive too, right? They will find each other. If you have a couple of drips on the table, it seems like, if there's even a little bit of a slope, they'll go around and they'll become a bigger puddle, right? So the energy of that time of day from 6 to 10 p.m. from the Ayurvedic perspective, that energy is cohesive, and it's heavy, and it's grounded. It's all those things that you just said. And so the last thing that you want to do, if the energy is all of those things, is put a heavy, unctuous, oily, really like greasy, not just good oil, but like greasy meal into your belly. Your body can't handle it. It's not, the environment that you're in at that time of day does not support eating that heavy of a meal. What it does support with that cohesive nature is bonding. And that's one of the reasons why we like to gather around the table as a family, right? We like to have that time when we create our togetherness and our supportiveness, when we maybe can play like a game together or take a walk together. We like to do a little bit of light activity so that you can digest your food. So a little walk after your lighter dinner is a great thing to do as a family for bonding. And if you're attending to your family's needs during that time, and everybody is getting the attention they deserve and desire, then your morning is going to go more smoothly once again, right? For those of us who are listening, who are moms and who are dealing with children of all ages who are clingy and want our attention in the morning, right. if you really have the time set aside for them, that your time when you walk in the door is not all food preparation, because you're not trying to put on a huge meal. And you can have the quality time that's connected, that's playing a game, that's doing something on their level. It makes your next day go much more smoothly.
It does.
Yeah. So the other piece of that, as far as moving into a great start of the day, is then getting to bed fairly early as well. So like I said, that kapha, that heavy energy, is prevalent from 6 to 10 p.m. So if we can get into bed by 10 p.m., and we can be getting to sleep by like 10:30 before, while we're still on the cusp of that energy before we move into the really fiery energy that comes next. That next time period, that 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. period, that's a meant that fiery period is meant to digest information and thought. That's when you should be doing your good dreaming, where you can process the day's activities and what's happened during the day, and you can restore your cellular function. So that needs to be free of heavy food, right? If you got heavy food in your belly, all of that energy will go to metabolizing instead of going towards metabolizing information, which is what that time is great for. So again, that's the way to get good rest and free up your digestion and wake up really happy and healthy for the next day.
That's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. If somebody was looking to find you, where would they go about finding you?
So my website is PureLifeNC, PureLifeNC.com. I can also be reached by email by ayurvedagin@gmail.com. Gin is Gin. And these habits that we're talking about, my next course, which is a group course, starts in September. So if anybody is interested in having a free 30-minute conversation where we talk about just what your health goals are and what kind of habits you may need to be developing and what you're struggling with, we can do that. And you can register for that on my website, or you can email or call me, which is also on my website.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. So if you guys are confused and you don't find the information, make sure that you type in below and say, give me more information, and we'll be watching the threads and make sure that you get more. So say, give me more, and we will make sure that you get the information if you don't find the URL or the email address below.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Haley.
Very cool. Thank you, Jen. This has been awesome.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Thank you. And I hope everybody else did too. Let us know how we can support you, and make sure you grab your tickets to the Leadership Girl Live Summit, because Jen is one of our esteemed speakers and she is going to be awesome.
We're looking forward to it a lot.
And your topic on your speech, remind me the exact title.
Overcoming stress and overwhelm. So we'll be using some visualization and talking about these habits again and how we can overcome stress and overwhelm to live a path of ease.
I love it. And, I think as entrepreneurs and as business owners, we really do need to overcome that overwhelm to find that stress and
absolutely
less stressed kind of place.
Absolutely. And the stress and overwhelm is just a surefire path to disease. So we want to make sure that people are healthy enough not to go down that path.
Absolutely. I agree. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.